Hey friends, more stuff around the Gateway Tapes, the Gateway Voyage program, and the Monroe Institute. And this one deals with a question that I received recently, well, several times, around why should I go and spend the money and the time for a residential training program when I could just use the tapes or potentially take a virtual class? And I've got a great answer for that. But first, I'm not a representative of the Monroe Institute. I am not a what they call an outreach trainer or a residential trainer yet. I would like to one day. That is my goal, but I'm not there yet. And this video is literally not to do anything to not make any money. I'm not being paid to say any of this. I'm not doing this to brown nose to get anywhere. I just think it's useful information. It's my personal experience and my personal kind of opinion, if you will. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing that is great is the residential trainers. Now, these trainers are phenomenal. They not only are extremely experienced and well-versed in the Monroe programs, not just Gateway, but all the other programs as well, but they're usually trained in other systems as well. So they have a huge background on consciousness and all of this, right? And it's not just that they're teaching the class and they're there to ask questions during class, when class is going on, when you're in debrief or briefing for the next meditation. They're there staying on site. So just like you are for an entire week. So during the breaks, during, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or during the afternoon break, or in the evening, there is ample opportunity to pull one of your trainers aside and ask questions, express concerns, express ideas, and just chat with them. And I don't think even in the online training, the online training, I don't think you quite have that just organic ability to like sidle up to somebody at the water station and get some water and just have a chat. So that in itself is amazing and invaluable, and you won't get that anywhere else. Next, along the similar lines, is your classmates. And I kind of talked about this in the first video, but here you are with however many people. Like I said, we had 18 in our class, and they're all kind of pursuing the same kind of knowledge and information that you are, and they're all exploring the world through the lens that you're trying to explore the world in. And so, again, not only just in class while you're in debrief and brief, but you have so much other times to sit and chat with them over meals, or while you're sitting around the pool. We have so many like deep conversations around the pool up at Robert's Mountain Retreat. Conversations I'll never forget that are just so profound and so deep and so meaningful. And if you're like me, like small talk just is wearing on you. And there was no small talk up there. There were deep topics. So just again, having your classmates there in an organic way to chat with them organically throughout the week is just invaluable. Next, it is immersive. You're there for an entire week. And you can, if you choose to, be fairly unplugged during the entire time. Now, they have internet and your cell phone will work up there. They're not totally in the boondocks, but if you want to completely separate yourself from your world, you absolutely can. And in essence, you will have to in some ways. Like so many of us have responsibilities and daily tasks and errands and chores and things like that. And none of that exists up there. Like you're staying on site, you don't have to do any of those things. You might have to check in with your loved ones, but really you're totally focused on learning in this environment, which I think even in the online courses, you won't have that because you're still at the end of the day, once Zoom closes down, you're back in your world. So the fact that you're unplugged and can truly focus on this is just amazing. Next, it seems kind of silly, but I think it's kind of important. Food and drink. So they cater breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day, and there are ample snacks all day long and all night long if you get a hankering. There's drinks everywhere, tea and coffee and water and lemonade, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You will never be wanting for food or drink. And this, I think, is often overlooked because we just don't think about it that often. But the fact that you don't have to think about what you're going to do for dinner, what you're going to do for lunch, what you're going to do for snacks, what you're going to do for water or drinks or whatever, like you just don't have to think about it. It's just there. It's just one less thing you have to worry about so you can focus on learning. So in my opinion, I think that's great. The next one, the CHEC unit, and CHEC is CHEC, which stands for Controlled Holistic Environmental Chamber. This is where you sleep. Here's a photo of it that I took of mine. This is where you sleep, and this is where you do your meditations. It is a somewhat, not 100%, but somewhat sensory deprivation chamber. It is soundproof. The curtains are blackout curtains completely. It won't let any light in of any sort. So you can be completely black in there, no light whatsoever, and no sound. And then when you put your headphones on, there's especially no sound. So having that is just astounding. Like, it enhances your meditations to the next level. So many of us talked about in the class and in the community group here in Denver, we talked about how great it would be to have your own check unit. And I've heard people actually build them in their homes. And so I'm not going to do that, but that is one amazing thing. And you will only get that at a residential program. Next, the environment. You may not care, but I fucking love the environment. It's so beautiful. I've seldom ever been anywhere in the world that this is beautiful as the Roberts Mountain Retreat on top of the hill there, just surrounded by forest. And nature, wildlife everywhere, birds and squirrels and all kinds of other wildlife. One morning I heard a wild turkey out in the woods behind the dorms. Just so beautiful. Now, I'm not an expert on grounding, but from what I understand, being in nature is very grounding, and I think that does help with the meditation. So it's just beautiful there. So if you get a chance, phenomenal. Now, next one, and this is the last one, most important probably, there are exercises that are done in the Gateway Voyage program at the Monroe Institute, at the residential program, that you will not find on the tapes. They are not out there. They are not available to buy. They are not available for download. They are only there in the program. You will not get them anywhere else. And the most profound meditation I did that entire week was one of those. You can't get it. And we were talking about it at the community group this last weekend. We're like, oh man, that one, do you remember that one? Yes. And we're like, I wish we could have that one in a recording, but there isn't one. So there are things that you only get there. Just so you know. And there are physical exercises. They give you little tastes of all the other programs. Like, one of the programs I really want to take is called MC Squared. And I can't even describe it. I'll maybe make a video about it when I'm ready to do that. But it's super, super cool. And you do a little bit of stuff like that in this. And actually, just Gateway Voyage is giving you a taste of each one of these programs. Go super deep in each one of them, but you get enough to where you could go home and practice and that sort of thing. Or if you want to go really, really deep, you can take one of the other classes. So one of those cool things was we got to meet the GOAT himself of remote viewing, Joe McMoneagle. Now, this photo was taken by Jordan, Alive and Kicking. He's quoted on there. I'm using his photo because we are not supposed to have our phones in the kind of briefing area just for privacy and all that sort of thing. And we did not know he was coming. I'd hoped, because I'd seen Jordan's video and he was there. I was like, oh my God, they got to meet him. Maybe we will too. And I was kind of in the back of my mind all week, like, could we maybe we'll actually get to meet him? We did, but I think they don't announce it. They don't let us know because they don't know for sure that he's coming, because it doesn't go to every single one. He basically, from what I understand, he'll show up and talk to the group if he has time, if he's in town, et cetera, et cetera. And he was, and we talked to him for 2 hours, got to ask him questions. Super, super, super cool. Again, you're not going to get that with the tapes. You're not going to get that anywhere else. So those are my list. That's my list of things that you can get out of it by going. But again, if you can't swing it financially or with time, I totally get it. It is fairly pricey, but if you can ever put it together, if you can ever make it happen, I promise you, it is so, so, so worth it. I cannot wait to get back there. I'm kind of crushed that this next class I'm taking is virtual, but the class after that will be a residential program. So we'll see. Anyway, let me know what you think. If there's any other questions, any other topics you want me to cover on this, and again, I will get into some of my experiences soon. But until then, I love you very much. We'll see you.